Hi, it's Dwyer, gamblersadvisory.com. You know, there was a great article today on Yahoo Sports, excellent site at sports.yahoo.com, on Peter Manfredo that underscores a point that I've been making for a while, that there is no real money in boxing. The only guys making significant money, in other words, the only guys making more money, the only fighters making more money than, let's say, 9 to 5 workers, the typical worker, are the elite superstar athletes. The Manny Pacquiao's, the Floyd Mayweathers, the Klitschko brothers, champions in divisions, Lucien Boutte, Carl Froch. It's only a very select few who can say that they're making more money than, let's say, the average worker makes in society. There simply isn't any money in boxing. I love the sport as a fan. I enjoy watching it. But understand, if you're getting into the sport of boxing, you need to realize the long odds you face towards achieving financial viability. Peter Manfredo is 37-6 with 20 knockouts. He's been in the game for a long time. You can tell just looking at his face. He has that puncher's face where, his face looks like something has hit it several times. He's not a bad looking guy, but you can tell that his face has undergone some trauma. He's almost 31 years old. So I'm not talking about a new jack, 2021, who doesn't have any money. I'm talking about a guy who's been in the game for several years, right? He's now in his 30s. He's been successful. He's 37-6 with 20 knockouts, right? And his next fight will be for the middleweight title. In other words, he's a guy who has had the opportunity to fight for a championship. He's the next opponent for champion Julio Cesar Chavez Jr., right? But yet, and that's not the first title shot he's gotten. He earlier fought Joe Calzaghe, right? And of course, those aren't the only two contenders he's fought. He's also fought Sakio Bika. But yet, Peter Manfredo, at 30, after fights that most in the sport aren't going to get, championship level, contender level fights, Peter Manfredo has to hold down a full-time job to support his family. Think about that. In other words, boxing can't even be his full-time vocation, right? He can't wake up and devote his day to boxing, talking with his trainer, working with sparring partners. No, he literally, to pay his mortgage or rent, his bills, has to work full-time. So understand the reality of boxing. While he's fighting a champion like Chavez, who literally can devote his life to the sport, right? Chavez's father, very successful in the sport. Chavez himself has been on HBO, has been on top-ranked pay-per-view events, has made money himself off of the sport, obviously is the current champion. While Chavez Jr. is able to spend his free time focusing on boxing, Peter Manfredo has to spend his free time focusing on his job. And just imagine how tired you are at the end of your workday. That's when Peter Manfredo is able to then start focusing on boxing. And understand, this isn't your run-of-the-mill fighter. This is a fighter who was on TV years ago in the Contender Series. People may recall he fought Alfonso Gomez. He fought Sergio Mora, right, on TV. He's a known commodity. His fight against Joe Calzaghe was on television. His fight against Sakio Bika was on television. Now, my point is, if Manfredo needs a job, non-boxing job, to support himself, just imagine what's going on with the people around him, right? His manager might make 10% of what Manfredo makes, up to 33% of what Manfredo makes, right? The manager's hard at work trying to find him fights. You have sparring partners who likely make less than Manfredo makes. You have a trainer. Keep in mind, every fighter has his own ecosystem, right? Manny Pacquiao has Bob Arum as his promoter. He has Freddie Roach as his trainer. He has Alex Ariza as his nutritionist. He's also paying sparring partners like Amir Khan and others, Rodello, bunch of other guys who've been with him a long time. So Manny Pacquiao, very successful fighter, literally is paying several guys before we even get to his entourage, right? Well, just imagine Manny Pacquiao trying to do that if he needed a job, a 9 to 5, to support himself and to pay his bills outside of boxing. That's what's going on with Peter Manfredo. And think about it. Once you realize that there's little money in boxing and that even the promoters are scrambling, and I mean most promoters, not Bob Arum and not Golden Boy, right? They are blessed with having fighters like, Manny Pacquiao and, other big names. Floyd Mayweather, who is his own entity but works with Golden Boy. They have fighters who are cash cows, right? Who get over $1 million in revenue just off the live gate before you get to television. And of course, an elite few, Manny, Floyd, an elite few, not every good fighter, just an elite few are actually able to not just be on TV, but to get people to pay per view to watch them on TV, right? That's not Peter Manfredo. And so you have situations where a promoter like Gary Shaw is actually suing his best fighter, his former best fighter, Timothy Bradley. And you wonder, why would Gary Shaw sue Timothy Bradley over money that you would think isn't significant money when you're hearing that Manny Pacquiao is guaranteed $22 million to fight Juan Manuel Marquez, and when you're hearing that the Floyd Mayweather-Victor Ortiz fight received something like $75 million in revenue. And here, you're wondering, just from a PR standpoint, why a promoter would sue a fighter who's fought for him for several fights for far less than that. And that's because, quite frankly, there isn't a lot of money to go around in the sport. And let me just point out, there was a 24/7 before the Floyd Mayweather-Victor Ortiz fight. And we were introduced to Victor Ortiz's trainer, Danny Garcia, right? Danny Garcia is a pretty good trainer. Understand, Garcia with Ortiz had won some pretty major fights, including Ortiz's win over Andre Berto, right? Then the champion. So you would assume that since Danny Garcia was with Ortiz when Ortiz won the championship, and since Ortiz has had a string of big wins, right? Ortiz had beaten people like Nate Campbell earlier, right? Ortiz, even in fights he didn't win, was in with some pretty big competition. Marcus Maidana, right? You would think that by the time Ortiz got to Floyd Mayweather, that Ortiz would be well paid, Danny Garcia would be well paid, everyone around them would be well paid. And then we find out on 24/7 that Danny Garcia is working a job to pay his bills. And then when Danny Garcia gets off that job, that's when he's able to train his fighter. right? People are living on razor thin budgets in boxing. Peter Manfredo, again, 37-6 with 20 knockouts, multiple television appearances. Not only a contender, he was on the Contender Series, right? He's fighting for the championship, and it's not his first championship fight. Peter Manfredo, at 30 years old, about to turn 31, has told Yahoo Sports that if he doesn't beat Chavez Jr., he's walking away from the sport. And who could blame him? Because think about the health risks, right? Boxing is a profession where you look around and some of the biggest names in the sport, the biggest names in history, have slurred speech, have the shakes, right? Some great champions, you don't even see them anymore. Wilfred Benitez, right? Punch drunk syndrome. And so you have huge risks, and unless you're Floyd, Manny, the big names, Vladimir, Vitaly, unless you're the big names, you don't have the bank account, quite frankly, to warrant the risk. And that's why I always say, if you're an up-and-coming fighter, if you're Tyson Fury in the United Kingdom, and you're offered a shot at Vladimir Klitschko with payment to you and your crew of at least six figures, mid sixes, let's say $500,000, hopefully seven figures if you're lucky. The minute you're offered that fight, whether you feel you're ready or not, I believe you have to take it. Because quite frankly, the money is so hard to come by in the sport that you need to realize that it might not be there for you tomorrow. Not only that, all of us have seen more skilled fighters in fights get hit with haymakers and then lose the fight, right? There is no such thing as a tune-up fight in boxing. When a champ says, hey, I'm willing to risk my title against you, I think you have to take it for yourself, for your family, for your trainer, for your sparring partners, for your manager, for your bank account, quite frankly, for the opportunity, right? Whether you're ready to fight a Klitschko, a Pacquiao, or a Mayweather, just remember you're always one punch away from taking their titles. Let me know what you think. Leave your comments for me here on YouTube. Visit us at gamblersadvisory.com. Thanks for watching.